Hello and good morning. It is Monday and I have done something I haven't done in 3 years, and I took 2 days off of vlogging, Saturday and Sunday, after we got back from holiday, because if you can't tell, I am so ill. And I burnt my lips, and I don't know how I still haven't fixed this. I burnt my lips, and then I've been breathing out my mouth so much that my lips are so cracked and chapped, so painful. But I'm pretty sure I've had COVID, but I could not tell you for certain because I've done a test and it came back negative. But I just think some of the strains now must be so far beyond like the Flowflex tests that you can get from supermarkets and stuff. So I don't know, but it fucking floored me. I really struggled on our last day, like last morning of holiday, and I struggled big time on the way home. I didn't get any sleep on the flight. My Oura ring actually said 0 hours and 0 minutes, and I was like, lol, yeah. And I have just been trying to recover since then because I'm not in a good way at all. So it's Monday. I've done a midweek check-in for Amy, which I haven't done whilst I was away. I stuck to the weekly check-ins whilst I was away. And just to get back in the swing of things, did a midweek one because I had some questions for Amy and I'm just waiting on a response from that. But she has also been really unwell, so I'm just kind of going with the flow on that one. You know, I'm not on prep, so it's not urgent that she gets back to me particularly. Trying to get through this without coughing. Weighed in this morning and I'm 76.15, and when I left I was 74. So I don't think that is all weight gain from on holiday. I look at myself and I'm like, there's still some water to come off. It just isn't loads of fat gain, I don't think. So I mean, if it is, it is. I'm not really bothered, but I don't think it is. So it usually takes me a little while, especially after the long haul flight where I do carry a lot of water, particularly in my legs, and to just recovering from the lack of sleep and getting back into my normal routine and stuff. It does take me a little while to drop some of that travel holiday weight, but it does come off eventually. So I'm sure that I'll get back down to 74. My appetite since I've been home has been poor, so poor. I'm trying to stick to my food because I know it is good for me and it's not giving me the ick at this point, but I am feeling unwell. So it just is what it is, and it's just another thing for me to navigate. But I've been to the GP this morning, putting me forward for my SIBO test and a new course of action. Following speaking to me this morning, but he wants me signed off for another 4 weeks. So I'm just riding that one out and doing what I need to do to keep myself well and stress-free and recovered. And for me, that is spending time with friends and family and resting outside of doing things that are like my normal. Obviously, I have not trained since I've been home because I've just felt terrible. I walked on the treadmill yesterday. That's it. That's all I did yesterday. But I'll get some steps in today because I feel up to doing that. I've done 2,000 so far. I feel up to getting some fresh air, and fuck me, I need it. But yeah, I've just popped to Tesco to get some meds and tissues and just things that might help me, because yesterday I was not on plan. I just needed to eat and drink things that would make me feel better, but today I am going to try my best. I have had a very nice afternoon doing absolutely fuck all and catching up with my best friends on FaceTime, which was just exactly what I needed. So needed. And then I got a message from my sports therapist, Katrina, saying I have 6:30 free. And I was like, in my head thinking, good for you. Good for you. And then I went back in my calendar and realised that I'm booked in at 7 and she could have got me in at 6:30. Honestly, if I don't put things in my calendar on my phone, which I did, I just didn't set an alert for it, I'd be absolutely fucked. Actually fucked. My head has not been with it this entire time that I've felt really unwell over the past few weeks, and it is possibly worse. Just getting worse, especially after holiday and just not knowing what day it was. Just felt like I was in the gooch of Christmas the entire time, but just with plenty more sun. It's already nearly time to book another one, do you know what I mean? I'm feeling slightly better. I definitely need more sleep tonight, and then I might feel proper on the mend, but until then. And I actually don't know what I would like her to work on, because I've not been able to train properly for so long. Probably lower, because why not? Today is Tuesday. It's Tuesday. I've done fuck all. Fuck all. I trained upper this morning. It was alright. Again, these sessions at the minute, whilst I feel the way I do, are not anything to shout about. I had a tissue in one hand. I had my hand sanitizer in the other at most times throughout that session, but it was okay. I'm just getting in there to move myself at the moment, and I would say that most of my sessions over the last few weeks have been exactly the same, but it was nice to be back in the Ultraflex environment with kit that I wanted to use and not fighting for 12 pieces of kit in the heat. Saying that, I was extremely hot this morning, really hot, and I am suffering today. I have been on the sofa. I haven't done a lot else. I really haven't. I've done a little bit of research into something that I wanted to. And that's it. I'm trying to rest as much as I possibly can. One thing that I am doing today though is switching out a lot of my supplements and changing a few bits up. So I am taking out all my pre-workout. I'm taking out my Hydromax. I am trying to have a bit of a clean up of things that might be affecting me. I'm also adding in some water kefir. Now, most kefir products that you get for live cultures in your gut are in yogurt. Yogurt's my nemesis at the moment, so we're not having yogurt. I'm adding in a calcium supplement as well, and unfortunately I've picked up the wrong one. I wanted some calcium citrate just to go in where I'm lacking in dairy at the moment. But I picked up the calcium magnesium citrate, and I was supposed to pick up the calcium vitamin D one. However, I will rectify that and pick up another one, because I'm just shitting money at the minute. Why not? Honestly, getting back from holiday and getting back into my plan has been hard because I just feel like shit. My appetite is poor, but I have to eat, so I'm just force feeding myself at this point. It's not very bloody exciting, but I am having a big old clean up, and I'm going to see how it goes, and I'm going to get an intolerance test done, and I'm going to get my bloods done again in around 6 to 8 weeks. That is my plan. I'm still keeping dairy out. I obviously played a little bit with that on holiday because it was difficult to know what was in what. There wasn't a whole lot of telly. I fucked up a couple of times with secret cheeses. I like to put a little bit of secret cheese and stuff, I tell you, in the Dominican, where it was obvious anyway. I'm sure there was trace dairy in a lot of things that I had, but without any tags or anything like that, not a whole lot I can do about that other than assume. So I tended to steer away from pastries, only go for breads that look like sourdough, stick to meat and veggies and rice and things that I know digest well, and then occasionally had myself a little treat and kind of took the hit where I knew it was going to fuck me up. But it takes your gut a very long time to kind of rebuild. So I'm in this for the long haul. Took all of these away with me and then didn't have a single one because I was just enjoying having eggs and turkey bacon and chicken sausage every morning, like post-training. I didn't worry about my protein intake at all. Please don't tell me that I've eaten them all. I think I have. The chocolate pistachio ones of these. Just a masterpiece. Oh. I always get like this when I've got a cold and when I feel like shit. I'm like, God, I remember the other week when I could breathe through my nose and how much I took that for granted. That's where we're at. I'll take Maggie out for a walk in a bit, and that'll be the extent of my day and how exciting it gets. Because I am actually, for once in my life, doing what I'm told. Miracles do happen. Happy Wednesday. I am not feeling a whole lot better at all. I've just nipped to Tesco because I have this overwhelming urge to eat sausage for my off plan, for my 3 calories today. And I'm going to try and attempt to make that fit. Here we are. I tried to train quads and delts this morning. I did train quads and delts this morning. Again, with the way that I'm feeling at the moment, it just wasn't as good as it could have been, but I'm just all about taking the small wins at the moment. I got in there, I did something, and yeah, I managed to get through that. I did a little bit of cardio. I've done cardio around 15 minutes per day since I've been home, so I'm nowhere near where I need to be for my cardio this week, but given the circumstances, I think that's okay. Like, I'm not giving myself a hard time about it. My steps are still in a goodish spot, although I didn't do them all yesterday, but I'll make an extra effort to get them done today. It is what it is for one day out of 365 where I generally am proper on it. Today is about self-care. Like, I want to do a hair mask. I want to have a nap. I want to just carry on with a bit of the research that I was doing yesterday and not do a whole lot else. I'm really trying to listen to myself at the moment because I am not in a good way. I'm not in a good way, and I can't carry on as I normally would and expect things to be different at all. Nose is so scabby and sore as well from where I've just been blowing it constantly. Oh. That's why I did that oil cleanse earlier, because I just thought that might actually help my skin a little bit. Oh, rough. Might tan today as well, because that would make me feel better. Everything feels better with a tan. And let's face it, Andy looks like he's been on holiday, but I don't, so maybe that will make me feel a bit better. I've just woken up from my nap. We're having synchronised naps, aren't we, Maggie? Have you just woken up from your nap? Huh? I'm very aware that since I've got back, I haven't talked much about the gut stuff, mainly because it's just doing my head in, and by talking about it constantly, I'm only stressing myself out further. So I've had to change a lot of the things that I'm doing, which is absolutely fine. I am now being put forward for the breath test. Originally had the breath test booked, then I had antibiotics, then I had to stop the antibiotics. So it therefore got pushed back. That appointment has now come through for November the 13th. So the week that I return to work, I have that appointment on the Thursday. The letter that I've had doesn't actually say whether it's for the breath test. It says that it's with a nurse. If it is, that is incredibly frustrating, because it just further means that I ain't getting the treatment that I need that day. So the plan going forward is still continue with dairy free, continue adding in these extra bits, have my bloods run in around 6 weeks' time, have my intolerance testing, and follow through the NHS pathway for the bacterial overgrowth, because unfortunately I have to go through the flowchart. Apparently this is very new and very frustrating for NHS practitioners as well. So yeah, it's just one of those things. If you want at death's door, if you haven't got bowel cancer, if you haven't got loads of blood in your stool, follow the flowchart is essentially where we're at. I think it'll, not for me particularly, but I think it will lead to a lot of people having things, you know, going undiagnosed, having long-term illnesses because of it. It seems like a terrible idea, but I think this is just where the NHS is at the minute. I'm going to play their little game and hopefully things will settle down a little bit, because I have now taken so much out of my diet, my routine, just everything. I can't say I've seen any improvement. Gut motility whilst I was away was very up and down, as you know. Some of that was because I was having 3 high volume meals a day, and either that really moved to things or it didn't. But there was also the possibility of the dairy in there as well. So I'm kind of writing holiday off as me trying to help myself but not being able to fully commit to helping myself, to now I'm back being able to fully commit. Maggie and I have had a nap together. We've also been for a walk. I'm doing a little bit of research. I'm going to put a hair mask on shortly. I'm going to tan. Because like I said this morning, just everything is better with a tan. I'm not feeling a whole lot better. But that's just the way the cookie crumbles right now. I don't know whether anyone can relate to this. I feel like it's probably a bit niche. I got a phone call from my dad about half an hour ago saying, have you got a spare half an hour? Can you come over? Obviously. Can you just let me know why? Because peak stress. One of his spiders has escaped. See you in a minute. Absolutely no luck, which is slightly concerning, but I've just looked for about an hour. He'll pop up. I'll go round tomorrow and check again. Good morning. As you can see, I look slightly scoused today, and I'm just getting ready for an appointment that I have later, where I probably should make more of an effort than I have done the last couple of weeks. I'm also just having my meal on blueberries, ain't it? I really, really don't like them. I think I've overdone them in previous diets and stuff. They're just so hit and miss. Sometimes they're sour, sometimes they're meh. I like to know exactly what I'm getting. But they are going to help with some of the gut issues that I have, supposedly. So I'm just going to grin and bear it for a few weeks. But I ain't enjoying my food right now, I'll tell you that for free. I've done a check-in this morning and my weight is still 76.3. So it's not coming down any further post-holiday, which is kind of okay. I don't hate how I look. I am fatter than I would like to have been this off-season. I've been to my appointment and I've been over to my dad's and I've been like sorting out loads of my stuff. He's got loads of my stuff at his house and I'm just trying to get rid of some of it, look through it. I used to be such a quirky little thing. I've just found an old fur coat that I might dry clean. Is that really bad? I mean, it's vintage. Is it bad? I don't know. Ugh. Anyway, it would need dry cleaning before I sold it. But I've just, and this makes me feel a little bit sick. Back in the day when I was going through my Vivienne Westwood obsession, I bought these. I've not even taken them out of the box. They're brand new. So they're going straight on Vinted, along with loads of other things that I just found. Oh. Tonight's going to be spent uploading those. I also found this. I think this is actually legit Russian. Again, I used to be so good at vintage shopping. It says the USSR in the lid, in the top. This also feels wrong. Yeah, look. So it's 9 o'clock. I just got settled down to watch The Traitors and chill out, and my dad's rang me and told me that he was falling asleep on the sofa. He was falling asleep on the sofa and he found the spider because it was crawling up his arm.
Trouble is, if you make a sudden movement, you see,
Yeah.
they can fall.
Yeah.
They can just damage themselves. I think he's fabulous looking.
Well, yeah, but bloody hell. Good morning. It is Friday. And I've just trained pulling hams for what feels like the first time in a long time. Like properly. Well, I say properly. Still not quite where I'd want it to be. But certainly a lot nicer than a hotel gym. It's my favourite session. So it was nice to kind of get back in there. I'm still very much struggling with nausea whilst I'm in there and heavy cramping, which makes me go to the toilet. But I'm quite pleased with that. On the subject of nausea, so feedback on my check-in yesterday. My check-in was quite heavy on the detail this week about things that I might want to change now that I'm back from holiday, now that we're focusing very much on making sure my gut is under as little stress as possible, making sure that I am in general under as little stress as possible. And we've made some changes to things that were just not sitting right and things that were making me even more nauseous. So my whey has come out of some of my oatmeals, so I'm having limited vegan whey because I'm just not enjoying it. It's not even so much as it's not sitting well, it's sitting fine. I'm just not enjoying it. I'm just not. It doesn't taste very nice to me. It's very grainy. It's still in my post-workout cereal today, and I'm like, you all know how excited I get about post-workout cereal, and I'm just like, nah. But in pulling some of that protein out of the whey that I'm having, we've upped my chicken to, I think it's 120 grams of chicken across any of my chicken meals, which is great because my beef meal is also making me feel a little bit nauseous at the moment. And my free calories have gone up as well. So my free calories, whilst we've pulled some of this stuff back, I've also lost my yogurt meal, which I'm okay with. My food at the moment is I'm actively struggling with it. So I have been dropping my yogurt meal out because I just don't want it. It gets to that point in an evening and I'm like, ugh. So my yogurt meal has been pulled out and I've now got 450 free calories rather than 250. So that just allows me a little bit more freedom with things that I am fancying. So yeah, there's been some changes which I'm looking forward to making. I've already made up some free cal meals for the weekend, which I'll just add to this afternoon and just add some extra calories into each of those, because at the minute they're 250 calories. That's where things are at the minute. I am starting to feel a little bit better though, like cold wise, but I am just really struggling to sleep through the night. My cough woke me up at 4:30 this morning, and then that was it. I was awake. So I am struggling a little on energy this week, just because I cannot get the rest that I need. It's not super positive, it's not negative either, it's just meh. I've been more inclined recently to use my free calories on like full meals or some like nutritious foods as opposed to crap. And when I say crap, I mean like chocolate and all of the things that I probably really wanted post-prep, but I'm not craving anything like that at the minute. At the minute, I'm very much being a savoury gal and just trying to use my nutrition to really look after my body, because it just does not feel like it's in the best place at the moment. But I'm doing my best. The nausea that I have whilst I'm training is just unreal. Like I can't press myself up against anything. I can't sit like stomach down on a bench. I'm struggling with some of the benches that I'm, you know, pressing against to keep myself upright. So things that I am packing for this weekend. This has just taken me about maybe an hour, but whilst I say that, during that hour I've also been cooking extra stuff to go with one of these meals that I'd already prepared and bulking the calories up. Also having a quick look through my clients' check-ins before I go out on a walk and respond to them. So you can do it, it can be done. So what I've done is made up my remaining free cals for the weekend. So this weekend that is veggie sausagey pasta. So pasta actually seems to be doing okay at the moment. I've just had some pasta for my free cals today, same, and it's sitting okay. I know that it's a bit too soon to tell, but on holiday I also dabbled in a little bit of pasta and I seem to be all right. I've made up 300 grams of berries, so 100 grams of that is for my meal tonight, my final meal, and 200 grams is for Saturday, Sunday, first meal of the day. I've still got some of these left over from holiday, so they are coming with me for that meal one of rest days. I've got some oats. We've got meal two on a rest day, which is 125 grams of rice, 120 grams of chicken, 50 grams of avocado, 20 grams of light mayo, and some stir-fried veggies. I've also put some of that, have I got it out? No, Prozie's 0-calorie teriyaki sauce on that as well, because it's just really nice. And I've seasoned that with a little bit of pink salt and onion salt. Then we've got rest day meal 3, yeah, which is again 120 grams of chicken, 125 grams of rice, and I've swapped out and macro matched the extra virgin olive oil for a peanut butter, because that is just going to be much nicer to have cold. So I've made up 2 of those for Saturday, Sunday, because I ain't going to get a training day in. I've also made up 2 of these. Now this has gone from being 120 grams of beef, 5% on a rest day, to 150 grams in this new switch up. So we've had an increase of chicken by 50 grams. Yeah, 40 grams. Oh my God, help me. And then this is 150 grams of 5% beef. We've got 125 grams of rice. I've put some red cabbage in there. There's 100 grams of a low calorie pasta sauce in there as well. I'm packing one of these bad boys. I've run out of chocolate. I need to go and get some dark chocolate. I've got one of these as well because my whey has been pulled out of some of my oatmeals, which I'm very pleased about because they were making me sick. But this is marzipan flavour, so something a little bit different. A big thing of pink salt. I tell you what, salt shakers, like pink Himalayan salt, can be on the pricey side. Salt shakers and grinders that I used to have in my bag, I used to make sure I always had one. I'd spend a couple, maybe even £3 on them from Sainsbury's. 89p at Home Bargains. What am I doing? What are you doing? Go to Home Bargains. So I will not use this much salt in probably like a month, but I always like to over prepare. Now, although I've accounted for all my calories, I've just got some emergency dates in there. I've also got a couple of these. These are kombucha. They're not the water kefir that I should really be having, but this is all that was available when I was looking, to be honest. I just picked them up rather than go without. All natural with live cultures as well, so they might help me out a little. Plan now is to make up my, oh, I'm doing all right for steps actually, make up my meal one, because I've had my free cals, but I want to start getting the ball rolling and have that before going for a walk, walking Maggie, responding to clients and making sure that I've got everything for this weekend. I think I have. I'm also at a point where if I haven't, I don't care. As long as I've got everything for the girls, I don't really care about myself. And I know that I've got everything packed for the girls, so it is what it is. Great.
Oh my god. Yes. That's exactly what I wanted. That is a vibe. Oh my god, that is sick. That's so me in a makeup. Mm-hmm. That is awesome.
Are you happy with it?
Yeah.
Saturday morning setup. Claudia Winkleman over here. How are we feeling?
Good. Nervous. I don't know how I feel. I feel shaky, but I think I'm just hungry.
Yeah, maybe.
I think that might be it.
It's still weird.
I just did a little one.
Okay. No, I was definitely posting that videos. That's why I didn't ask for a video, because I knew it would just be shit lighting. Do you know what I mean? What then? Like you can't see any of these lines on that video that we did earlier.
Yeah, look at those hammies. You're giving yourself shit yesterday.
Look ridiculous.
Relax. Quarter turn to the right. Face front. Okay, ladies, quarter turn to the right.
Yes, Dad.
British finals. Women's figure. Open overall champ and presented to your new IFBB Figure Pro 2. Laura Penny. Ladies and gentlemen, Laura Penny takes the title. Let's hear for Louisa Lloyd, Alex.
I want to thank my mum and my husband. And I want to thank my best friends. And I want to thank my coach. And I want to thank... I just thank you. Fucking hell.
American treats.
American treats.
It just hit different with the Pro God.
Cheers. Cheers.
Keep your mouth shut. I'll mess you up.
Good.
Oh God,
What a Saturday. It's now 25 to 8 in the evening. So from Bradford, after Laura got her card, we obviously celebrated with friends, and Sophie, Laura's coach, who's just fresh from the Olympia, mental that she was there, to be honest, because she must be so fucking tired. But of course she was there, if you know what I mean. So celebrated with everyone there, got in the car, went from Bradford to Telford, got here about 4 p.m, about 20 to 4, set up for tomorrow. Laura is no longer able to compete in the PCA Pro show tomorrow because she's now an IFBB Pro. And so we are still attending the expo, but we're attending it and not competing and not doing anything. I mean, I'm still going to do her makeup tomorrow for walking around the expo and stuff, to make her feel nice and just as a little well done. Got some friends joining me in the morning for some makeup, which is nice, but it's going to be a little bit more chilled than it would have been, which is also nice. But what a day, honestly. I never doubted her for a second. I never doubted her for a second. She was always so capable, but in this sport, it's all about who turns up on the day. It really, really is. You can be the most capable person. You can be so ready. You can be on the money, fit in the criteria. But if someone comes along and is a little bit bigger, a little bit more conditioned, just fits the criteria better than you, it's theirs. And it was such a big dream. And she's just gone and made it real. I missed the part where we also went and got a Five Guys and had a face mask and started watching a terrible, terrible film. But we haven't done that in over a year because one of us has been on prep or dieting or something. So it was well overdue and really bloody nice. So that's how we're going to continue the rest of the evening. Just taking it easy, really going to bed early like little rock stars we are, and getting ready for another day tomorrow of just doing what we love most, watching people in their pants. It is Sunday and I am filming this retrospectively because it has been a day. So I will insert some footage here.
Last time when you came to our side, I was like, oh, I remember seeing you.
Hello.
Very busy. Bring them out, bring them out.
Traditional pose facing the front.
I've got $3 unknown on the far end of the shop.
I spent the day with Laura at PCA British Finals. So I started the day off with some clients. Then I did a little glow up for Laura as well because yesterday was absolutely knackering for her. I knew full well that walking around the expo she was going to get approached by lots of people that wanted to congratulate her, and you know, I was going to do her makeup for her anyway, so I might as well have just, you know, made her feel nice, and so that's what I did. And we walked around the expo. British Finals is a really nice one for me. It holds a lot of special memories. I competed there in 2022, and as soon as you walk in, like, you get that feeling. It's a really, really good day. It was a lot smaller than usual, like the classes were smaller, especially the female classes in figure today, but some really good talent posed by Leah on Instagram, Leah Marie, particularly in toned figure, and it was great to see Lauren Hopkins finally get that pro card. She has missed out on that 2 years running by coming second and just slightly missing it. There was no way that she was missing out on that this year. Like, she was on the money and she looked absolutely amazing. So really, really pleased for her. Very well deserved. Then we had Kate in the pro show who did her pro debut today. So, and that is her final show as well. So a really, really good day, but I am absolutely knackered. I've not long been home. Andy and I are just chilling. Andy's catching up on the football for today. And I tell you what, it's not going to be long before I'm in bed, because that was long. But that was a great way to spend the weekend with my best friend, just doing what I love best.